for a very thoughtful and comprehensive maiden address at the start of Amrit Kal. Perhaps this was also the last time when such an address will take place in this building. She is an example of the strength of our nation, its diversity, and the immense opportunities it affords to each and every citizen of this country, irrespective of her origin, caste, or creed, or religion, or gender. She is also a powerful symbol of the empowerment of women in India. Without the full participation of 50% of our nation, we will not be a developed nation or even just an equitable society. However, we had expected that the new president would also present a report card made over the last 9 years. While the direction we wish to travel is known, a detailed and realistic roadmap is missing. In short, Madam, I conclude respectfully that the address was little long on adjective and short on specifics. Perhaps the government hopes that what they do not talk about today will soon be forgotten by the people. Borrowing the famous word, the nation wants to know what happened to the goals set for the end of 2022, and there were several, nearly 40 such goals which were supposed to be achieved by 15th August 2022, when New India was to take place. Niti Aayog should have sent her a report card. It can still be done in the next address. Honorable President talked about Swarim Bhavishya Ka Sankalp of transforming India into a developed nation, but without spelling out the essential conditions or even its defining features. What distinguishes a development nation from the developing or even an emerging nation like ours? It is only the size of only the size of the GDP? If that is the yardstick, what size is the inflection point? We have heard different numbers from different ministries about the 4 trillion economy, 5 trillion economy going up to 40 trillion. Inequality. Do you believe that the current state of inequality, extent of poverty allows us the luxury of such fanciful talk? While no doubt our GDP is growing at a healthy rate of growth, the problems are multifaceted. India's growth has come at the cost of sharply increasing inequality and extreme concentration of wealth in a few hands. The Gini coefficient is at 37.5, and the top 1% of the nation owns about 50% of the national wealth. In recent report, if I remember correctly, it was stated that 21 individuals own more wealth than 70 crore citizens. According to one estimate, those earning minimum wages in India will take 941 years to earn what a billionaire makes in a year. We continue to produce billionaires at an impressive rate, even if they are only paper billionaires. GST, which while much needed by definition, is a regressive tax. And according to Oxfam study, the poorest 50% of the population pay 68% of the tax, and the rich pay only 3%. Clearly, this is not sustainable, but a corrective steps has to. In evidence, government itself claims that Great Pride, that is running the largest free food support system of 80 करोड़ लोगों को ग्रेन सप्लाई कर रहे हैं. मैं पूछना चाहता हूं कि इस नंबर में हमारे किसान भाई और वैसे लोग भी शामिल हैं जो अपनी लाइवलीहुड के लिए फार्मिंग या फार्मिंग रिलेटेड कामों पर निर्भर हैं. अगर वो इतनी बड़ी भी नहीं उपास का should we not address these real issues rather than just make feel-good statement? While lofty goals and visions should always guide us, but policy need to be well-grounded in reality. Beyond GDP numbers and hope, there are several other indicators of a developed nation: per capita income, educational attainment, scientific and technically prowess, rule of law, are inviolable right of the citizen guaranteed by the robust and independent institutions, including an efficient and independent judiciary. Separation of power is one of the essential features. Honorable President emphasized the duty of each citizen during the Amrit Kal, but did not dwell on how the state is guaranteeing the basic right of every citizen. While the government always talks of cooperative federalism, the governors and lieutenant governors who represent our president in the states and UT are practicing combative federalism and are rendering the local administration impotent and ineffective. This tendency need to be checked. Getting used to double engine had a downside too. And the fear is that whatever the second engine is missing, wherever the second engine is, those trains will not be able to move. At the growing inequality between states, between north and south, between the coastal and the hinterland, worrisome and will remain a serious drag on India's growth story. Unless non-participant attention is paid to the pressing issue, central government cannot be seen as parochial or treat some states as stepchildren. The crony capitalism and corruption are other black swans that can halt India's growth. And add to this is the moribund institution and a regulatory body that seem only to act when told to do so. A week before the address, now famous Hindenburg report appeared, which has wiped out billions of dollars of national wealth. And what is the harm if a JPC is constituted? At least we can show to the world that everything is transparent here, and in case the opposition is saying something wrong, we will also get embarrassed if the JPC clears everything what the particular industrialist has done. PM talked of maximum government, minimum government, maximum governance. However, recent developments are proving that we have maximum number of regulators but minimum regulation. Education. Impressive numbers on education institutions were provided, with one medical college opening its door each month in the last 8 to 9 years, leading to 174 new medical colleges, 300 universities and 5,000 colleges. And trained and qualified faculty members for such places of higher are trained and qualified faculty members for such places of higher learning available. In fact, the medical colleges set 9 years ago must have produced 2 batches of doctors by now. Quality control is essential. Quality alone is not sufficient to meet the needs of an aspiration nation. Unless higher standards of all around are set up and enforced, brand India will keep getting dented periodically. Case in point is how our image on pharmacy to the world being dented by repeated reports of Indian manufacturers' drugs causing harm in patients in Africa and Central. Honorable President rightly mentioned the Nari Shakti and Yuva Shakti and government slogan of Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. Recent incidents have shown that our women are not safe in workplaces, and on streets, even in some homes. International level women athletes have to sit on streets for justice. May I suggest that the slogan should include the third element, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and Justice Dilao. Justice Dilao. इस मुद्दे पर और कुछ और जटिल मुद्दा पर भी सन्नाटा है. But the statistics of women participation in a workforce is distressing, low to at 19%. Similarly, youth Shakti without quality education and adequate skills and commensurate job will be a demographic disaster. सरकार का ध्यान इस मुद्दे पर होना चाहिए. Since the new technologies and processes are increasing pressures on meaningful jobs, our vast population cannot be adjusted to just deliver boys' job, Ola or Uber drivers, or even part-time employment in the army. अगर यूथ को प्रोडक्टिव बनाना है तो सोशल मीडिया की टॉक्सिसिटी को कम करना भी बड़ी ज़रूरत है. इन शब्दों के साथ मैं ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट को धन्यवाद देता हूं और एक समृद्ध भारत जो कि अपनी डाइवर्सिटी पर गर्व करे, एक जस्ट और इक्विटेबल सोसाइटी की कामना करता हूं. थैंक यू.